Right guys, welcome back. Day 14, staff referrals. Every single member of your team should have the opportunity to earn more money. The reality is everyone goes to work to earn a few quid. That's the only reason they're there. They're not actually there for you. They're not actually there because they love you. They're there to earn a few quid, to go home, to pay their bills, go on holiday, do what they want to do. So there should be an opportunity for them to earn more money. And the problem you find in construction is that a lot of people want more money, but they don't want to do anything new for it. And yes, there is a time when you can increase people's day rates and stuff that you're paying people, but that just goes over time in line with inflation really, and just the natural thing of costs going up. But when people want more money, they have to be bringing something else to the table. So it's down as you as the owner and the business person to basically have an opportunity for them to refer work to you so that they can earn more money as well. But equally, you've got to pay that money and follow through with your honour that agreement. So we want two things from our staff. I need to change that. You want your staff to love you and your company. All right, you need this to happen. If you don't have this, you've got transactional labour and employee. We call them employees. Most people are subcontractors. I'll get onto that in a separate training on what we should do with that. But you need staff that actually love you and the company. Like, you need people that live and breathe the company. You also want them to become more like partners and not just a body. And I'll explain into this. This is like a dream team of what you want. It's hard to do, but it is possible. So how do we actually get them to do that? Number one, you pay people on time. All right, this should be a given, but I'm just pointing this out. For me, look, I've always paid people on time. And when you do that, you build up a massive loyalty. It's when you don't pay people, or when you don't pay people when you said you're going to pay them, that's what causes all the fucking problems in this industry a lot of the time. But secondly, you run a well-oiled business and they know where they stand. So obviously all the things that we've gone through in this whole training of organising jobs better, pricing them correctly at the front, making the right money and the right profits on them, it allows you to run a better company. And you're just going to start being more on the ball with every single little thing because you're tracking all the extras, you're on top of all the details, you know, you're doing the things you need to do as I've gone through all the trainings on this. And you're just going to convey yourself as a better, smarter, more switched on business person, which people are going to have more confidence in you as a business owner. When you yourself are running jobs and it's chaos and it's unorganised and it's just a stress fucking world, which is 90% of the industry because most people operate like that, your staff are seeing that and they're thinking, fucking hell, this guy's a muppet. Why would they refer any work to you? So you've got to be really running a tight ship and be organised so they know they can rely on you, they know they can trust on you. Then we can look at them referring work in, because what they're not going to do is refer a family member or a friend for you to do a job, for your company to do a job, and then you fuck it up and it's chaos and it makes them look bad. They're always going to want to protect themselves first. So you've got to be running a really good company for them to feel safe to refer work into you. But what does every staff member know? They've got their own network, they've got their own family, they've got their own friends, they've got their own people they know that are potentially clients for you. So if your staff aren't saying good things about you, no one else is, because your staff know you and your business better than anyone. They know the crack. They know it all. So if your staff aren't willing to talk good things about your company and refer customers into the business, you've got problems inside the company. So I just want to make that very, very clear, okay? But then once you've got to that point and you are running a good business, you know, you're doing good work and you're being organised because you're actually doing the shit that I'm telling you to do in this training and living and breathing it and doing it, then it comes a point of, okay, well, what's in it for them? No different to the customers that we looked at yesterday. Now, what I like to do is, depending on what you do, a £200 to a £500 referral fee. So obviously, if you're doing smaller jobs, you don't want to be giving someone 500 quid when you've got a grand profit in the job, let's say. But equally, if someone's referring you a 30, 40, 50 grand job, it's going to be beneficial to give them a £500 referral fee out of that because you've got the profits within it and it's all going to make sense. So what I would do, once you've got to a point, you know, you're very comfortable with the company, it's running well, sit them down and just have a decent conversation. And it'll go along the lines of this. You can make it into your own, but along the lines of, look, I'm looking to continue to grow the business. And to do that, I'm typically spending, let's say, if the referral fee is £200 you're going to give them, or it's £500, put the figure in there. So their ears prick up. I'm typically spending £200 per job on marketing. So I thought I may as well have a referral policy in place that if you recommend a client into the business, I will pay you that same spend that I would typically pay in marketing. So it creates a win-win scenario. Fair enough? And it's just a conversation that you have with people. But you've got to have this conversation because they're not going to bring people into it if there's nothing in it for them. So that's an easy conversation over a coffee, over a bacon roll, in the van, whatever it is, whatever stage you're at. You should do this to every member of staff, even your apprentices, because then you can start creating a bit of competition as well. If someone reverses a job and you make it public they've been given 200 quid between all the other lads, then you know it's a real thing, and you can create that culture, which is a massive thing to running a business, of that they're one of your soldiers and they're not just a body, like I say, which is not what you want. So how do we do this for zero cost? Again, you do the same thing as a customer gift. We can add the cost of this into the job. So if one of your lads comes to you with a job and you know the referral fee is going to be £200, I would hide that £200 as a cost to the job in the plant section. The customer is then paying that referral fee. Your lads don't need to know this. You don't tell them that. This is your private knowledge. You don't need to let them know that actually the customer's paid for it anyway. That's where it will start to go wrong. This is just a business decision that only you know about. You've costed it onto the job. If you win the job, the customers are none the wiser. Your lad thinks you paid him out of your money. He's fucking buzzing, and it's just a win-win because you've won a job without having to go and get it, and then you've got people saying good things about you. That's the smart way of doing it. Now, where do people go wrong with this? Because this does happen a fucking lot, and it's really fucking frustrating. Some people get to this stage and they've had this conversation. People bring in a job, you then fuck up the job and don't pay them the referral fee. The minute you do that, you've completely burnt your relationship with your member of staff and you're fucked. So you cannot do that. You need to run it right from the start, which is exactly why we started with pricing and costs and numbers. We've got all our ducks in a row with that. If that's all in order, you know that you've got that allocated as a cost and you've earned profit on the job as well. You must honour it. If you don't honour it, that is where it's all going to go wrong. But you should take absolute pride in giving one of your lads 200 quid or 500 quid for bringing you a job in, because they've been a good soldier. It's cost you nothing, and it's easy. You know, it's easy as, but it's so easy to get wrong by just not honouring what you say you're going to do. So you must honour it. So your action steps is, number one, have this conversation with all of your current labour. So even if you've only got a couple of guys, have it with those couple of guys. Make it public knowledge that that's how you operate in the business. Have this conversation with all your subcontractors. If you use specialist contractors here and there, have that same conversation, because they're dealing with customers all day long as well. And you know, if they just do their bit and you do this bit, you're an electrical company, they're a carpentry company. Make it work for everyone. You know, that's what it's all about. It's that power of networking. The more people working for you in your favour, putting your name forward in front of clients. That's what you want. And then have this conversation with other trade friends or other people you know in the industry that you know you can have this conversation with and say, look, if you refer a job, I'll give you 200 quid, 500 quid. It's a what's in it for them thing. You do this with absolutely everyone, and it's just a no-brainer to do. But again, simple to do, but simple not to do. So just go and do it. Go and do it and tick it off this week and have this conversation with all the people you can, saying it in that way I've put to you, that you will do referral fees for anyone that a job becomes live, and you only pay for it if you win the job. So it's a no-brainer, absolutely no-brainer.